There's nothing worse than working without getting paid, working dozens of hours, working really hard, expecting money, maybe even quitting your job so you can do this full time and end up with no money. This can put people in very bad situations. And I understand a lot of people are worried if they're going to start Upwork that they're not going to make money, they're not going to get paid. But actually, let me reassure you, Upwork is safe. Upwork does pay. However, there's some mistakes that some freelancers make that make it so that they end up working without getting paid. But that's because they're not following Upwork's instructions and normal terms of service. And in this video, I'm going to share with you like the big mistakes that people make that make it so that maybe they end up not getting paid. And they're so easy to fix that really you have no reason to be worried. And also I'm going to talk about some of the measures that Upwork has to make sure that if you do the work, even if the client's angry or they don't want to pay, you can still get your money anyway. Like if you, Upwork is a place, they want you to make money when you work. They want freelancers to have a good experience. And so they have a lot of payment protection measures. And in fact, it's one of the safest, most reliable websites for making money online when it comes to finding jobs. So yeah, let's talk about it. So the first thing is that a lot of freelancers will make the mistake when they're starting out that they're going to talk with the client and the client is going to ask them, hey, can you do this small project for me just so I can see if you're really good enough for this? And some freelancers will say, yes, okay, let me do this. Let me show you my skills. And what's going to happen after that is that the client is not going to hire you. They're just going to move on and not give you a job. And in this sense, you do work without getting paid. And the thing you have to realize about Upwork is that you're not supposed to do free work. In fact, you don't even have the right to do free work on Upwork. If you get found doing a lot of free work, you're going to get warnings and you can get your account banned. Like, Upwork wants you to get paid for doing your work. And the client, if the client asks for a lot of free work, they can get banned. Upwork is a platform that they make the most of their money by getting a percentage of all the jobs. So they want every job as much as possible to be paid jobs. If a client wants you to do some test work, they need to pay for that. But mostly the way that Upwork operates is, hey, if a client wants to see if you're good enough, they're supposed to look at your profile and look at your portfolio, look at the projects that you show there that are past projects that you did that convey your skills. There is no reason on Upwork why you would need to do some free work to prove your skills to clients. There's no necessity for that, and it's not even allowed to do free work. And if a client asks you to do free work and insists that looking at your portfolio on your profile is not enough, well, you should just find another client. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of clients on Upwork, and it's actually one of the biggest job sites worldwide. So finding jobs is not that difficult. You just have to move on and find another client. Sometimes it's frustrating because it's a job that you really would like to have, and it looks like a really good job. But, you know, there's a lot of good jobs on Upwork, and another really cool opportunity is you're going to find other really cool opportunities very soon because, again, Upwork is one of the biggest job platforms in the world, and there's tons of jobs on Upwork. So the next thing is that a lot of freelancers, what they're going to do is that they're going to start talking with a client in chat, and the client is going to say, hey, can you do this type of project for me? And the freelancer is going to say yes, and they're going to maybe talk about the payment, or maybe they're not even going to talk about the money, and the freelancer is just going to start the project thinking that they have a contract, but they haven't had a contract. They've just talked about the project in chat. But before you should start a project, you need to sign a contract with a client. So what the client does is they give you an official job offer, and you read through it and you click a button to accept the job. But unless you've accepted the job, like if you work before you accept a job, well, the client does not have a contract with you. They don't have to pay you that amount, and maybe they discussed that with you, and in their mind, they did not hire you yet. They didn't give a job to you yet. So if you come back to them and say, hey, I finished your website, now can you pay me? They might be like, oh, I'm sorry, I did not give you a contract. I did not give you a job. Like, it's unfortunate that you did the work, but like I decided to give the job to someone else. Like, just be careful. Just wait before you get an official job offer and that you accept that job offer before you start working. so that you can avoid this misunderstanding and end up working without getting paid. So the next thing is that Upwork, I'm going to talk a bit about their safety measures to make sure that you get paid even if the client's not happy. If you did work, Upwork wants you to get paid. It's a really safe platform for that. And there's two ways to get paid on Upwork. There is hourly payment, so that you do a number of hours, and depending on the amount of hours that you get paid, a couple of days later the client pays you and you make money for that. Or there's fixed price projects, and that's like saying, hey, I can do this project for you for $1,000, and the client agrees for $1,000, and at the end of the project you get the money. Or maybe there's fixed price projects also that work in stages. So maybe for the first part of the project, for the first week, it's going to cost $250. For the second part of the project, it's going to cost this. And so you can get paid progressively, but still get a specific amount of money that's fixed. So Upwork has measures to make sure that your payments, that you can get paid for your work, even if the client is not happy or wants to not pay. Like you can get paid by Upwork themselves in some cases for work, even if the client does not pay correctly on their end. Like Upwork takes part of the risk to make sure that you get paid, which is insane. It's really cool. So the first method, we're going to talk about hourly payment. So the thing about hourly payment is that because Upwork, the clients, and you don't really know how many hours it's going to take, so you don't really know how much you're going to get paid at the end of a week, well, they can't take the money before you start the project. They have to wait to see how much money it costs before they start giving you the payment. So the way you're protected with that sort of method, even though the client pays at the end of the week or the project, that sort of thing, what happens is that you have a thing on the Upwork application, which is your time tracker. So the time tracker allows you to track your work hours on your computer, on your device, so that while you work, the tracker takes screenshots a couple of times per hour, and this makes sure that you're doing the work. You're not just playing video games or going on Facebook and that sort of thing. And as long as you are doing the work, the time tracker is going to keep tracking the number of time that you've spent working that day. And the time that you are tracking this way is sort of protected by Upwork. It's sort of an insurance that even if the client doesn't pay this, they have to pay that, and Upwork can pay you in cases where the client can't pay or that sort of thing. Next, there is for that though, there are requirements. You need to make sure that you work with a client who has a payment method that is verified. A lot of clients create new accounts and they have not yet verified their payment method. And if you work on an hourly contract with clients who have not verified their payment method, well, you don't get access to this hourly payment protection. So it's a risk you're taking. So what I recommend in that case, if you see a client who does not have a verified payment method, you should ask them before you accept the job to verify a payment method so that you make sure that you're going to be safe in your project. And also, you can also choose to just ignore that client and work with other clients if it's more easy and convenient for you to do so. Again, Upwork is one of the biggest job platforms in the world. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of clients. There's going to be other jobs for you that you can find easily. So it's really not a problem. For the second type of payment, for fixed price, what they do is that before the project is done, before you start the project, the client has to give money to Upwork in escrow. So for example, if the project is a $200 project, the client is going to give $200 to Upwork. Upwork is going to keep the money. And if you don't do the project, they're going to give back the money to the client. And if you do the project, they're going to give the money to you. Now, sometimes the clients are going to be dissatisfied with your work. They're going to be angry. And sometimes they're going to say to Upwork, hey, give me back my money after you did the work. And some bad clients exist. Like every business has bad clients, let's face it. And in these cases, the really good thing is that Upwork has strong measures in place to make sure that you can still get paid. And so if a client tries to get a dispute to make sure that they keep the money even though you did the work, what happens is that you just have to prove that you did the work. And if you prove you did the work and you followed the instructions and that sort of thing, well, Upwork is going to give you the money. Like, the money is not in the client's hand, it is in Upwork's hand, and they can decide to just give it to you even if the client's not happy. So that's pretty cool. Also, there's other ways that you can end up working without getting paid. For example, if a client asks you to work with them and they asks you to communicate with them outside of Upwork instead of communicating in Upwork, some scammers, what they do is that they try to get you to communicate via email, and then they send you a fake link to a page that looks like Upwork with like a contract or that sort of thing, or another page with a fake company website where they're asking you personal information and to sign up, and they're hoping that you're a new freelancer and that you don't know how Upwork works and that you're just going to give all that information and think that you have a contract but not really have a contract and do the work, and at the end they don't pay you. Honestly, avoiding scams on Upwork is very easy if you stay on Upwork and you refuse to talk with clients outside of Upwork. You can talk with clients outside of Upwork as long as you already have a contract with them. And actually, you're not allowed by Upwork to communicate with clients outside of Upwork unless you have a contract with them. Upwork knows that scammers, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you off of Upwork onto Telegram, onto email, onto other places. And that's where they can do their scams without Upwork noticing them and being able to ban them and protect you. So you want to stay on Upwork. If you've already had a contract and you already have an official job on the platform, now you can start talking with the clients outside of Upwork. But I would try to keep the communications on the platform as much as possible. And I would try to only communicate outside of Upwork with established clients who've done a lot of jobs on Upwork with good reviews and that sort of thing, so that you're safer when you're doing this. But otherwise, as long as you stay on the platform, it's very, as long as you follow like the rules I just told you and you stay on the platform, it is very, very hard to find a situation, to find yourself in a situation where you did work and not get paid. Like, Upwork is a very safe place. If you do the work, 99% sure you are going to get paid. And there are other scams, and if you're interested in seeing them, honestly, they're pretty easy to avoid once you know what the scammers are trying to do. And the best way to know what the scammers are trying to do is to check out my video on the most common types of scams. I'm going to put a link to it in the description or right here. Go check it out. With that, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments, and I'll see you in my next videos. Take care.